Hey, how you doing, everybody? Today is Wednesday, February 1st. It's kind of late. It's almost February 2nd, so it's almost Groundhog Day. So, talk about one of my favorite subjects tonight, Donald Trump. He is working at lightning speed. I think he's done more good for this country in, about 10, 11 days he's been there than Obama's done in 8 years. He's appointed. He's got a selection for the Supreme Court, and his name's Grolsch. I forget his name. Terrible with the names, but it's supposed to be a good one. I'm gonna reserve judgment until I know a little more, but he sounds like he's an originalist with the Constitution, which is good because these leftists really have no idea what the Constitution says. I dare any one of them to come tell me they've actually read it and know what it says. Like here, they're talking about the Muslim ban on travel when there's a Muslim ban on 7 countries. It's not even a ban, it's just a 3-month moratorium until we get a vetting process in place so we can prove who these people are. And the heavily persecuted ones, like some Muslims that helped us that might be in danger, and the persecuted Christians and Jews from those areas can come over, they could still make it over. So it's not a total ban. And it's unconstitutional. No, it's not unconstitutional. There is no constitutional guarantees for foreigners. There's no guarantees of the Constitution for illegals. You even got the idiot Attorney General in California. This guy's a friggin' Attorney General, and he's going to say that it's unconstitutional for Donald Trump to interfere with local immigration law. Well, first of all, immigration law is solely the responsibility of Congress. And the president, as the executive, is going to enforce the laws that the Congress had already passed. So he's going to enforce the immigration law. There's no jurisdiction for local governments. And they can't say, well, we don't want to use our local law enforcement for doing federal jobs. So that means there's other federal work that the local law enforcement does. And besides, wasn't it just during Obama administration just a few years ago, they told Arizona that they couldn't have their own local laws when it meant they were going to enforce the law? They said, you can't do that locally, it's the federal government, blah, blah. Now it's the other way around. See, they don't know the Constitution. They pretend like they don't, just by the way they act. I mean, right now, the way Trump's going at it, these leftist morons are just being a nuisance. And once important issues are really out of the way, then we'll deal with them in due time. But you just keep knocking over people. See, that's the one thing I noticed. You noticed the guy that they knocked out at the airport and his friends? You know what they didn't do? Oh, yeah, police assault. See, these leftists have a way of getting in your face, assaulting you, then when you retaliate, they cry. Oh, you assaulted me. I'll tell you what, asshole. If I assault you, you're not going to be right for the rest of your life. You're not going to be able to eat on your own. You're not going to be able to wipe your ass on your own. You're not going to be able to drive a car. I'm telling you what, you'll be damn near disfigured when I'm done with you, let alone not being able to move. So you want to eat through a straw and shit into a bag? You fuck with me. That's all I got to say on that subject. Stupid leftist pricks running around like fucking babies. You lost the election. You don't get the participation trophy in politics, schmuck. So, go home, masturbate in the corner, and try again in 4 years. Because this is just going to continue. Donald Trump is going to get us our Constitution back and our freedom back. I mean, and if he doesn't, we'll call him on it. There's a difference between a leftist scumbag and the Patriots. Why we're the Patriots? Because we honor what our Patriots fought for and the Constitution they brought forth that guaranteed liberty. My liberty is leave me alone. Don't bother me. I won't bother you. Being friends, being neighbors, being co-workers, we can all be cordial and nice to each other. It seems like everything that's a right to a leftist is a right that takes away my liberty. Oh, we have a right to health care. Oh, if you have a right to health care, then where's my right? My right should be not to have health care or not to participate in anyone's health care. Your rights are always my burdens. That's my point. Rights are not burdens upon other people. So you have a right to, you have a right to acquire health care. Pay for this shit yourself. You have a right to birth control. But you pay for that shit yourself. You have a right to a sex change operation. But you pay for that shit yourself. Right? Simple. I think it's perfectly reasonable. But there's morons out there that cry for the sake of crying. Look how they're crying about, they call it the Muslim ban because we restricted some Muslims from some war-torn areas. Now, they've stated their job is to kill us or to make us heed to Islam. They're going to put women in the burqas, they're going to get us all on the prayer mats, or they want to chop our heads off. They scream and cry, oh, the poor Muslims, the poor Muslims. And you know who they're going to turn to when those poor Muslims start blowing up everything in here? And how many terrorist attacks did we have over the 8 years? At least a dozen. And they try to play it off that it was a terrorist attack. Fort Hood and San Bernardino and the thing in Florida. I mean, it wasn't just a random guy. They're getting their information and their ideas from somewhere. But do you hear them cry about the 22 veterans that die every day from suicide? You see on the damn TV, there's 200 veterans that are waiting for specially built smart homes because they don't have arms and legs. How would you like to be a handsome, strapping young soldier going to war for your country, come home and you can't even wipe your fucking ass because your arms and legs are blown off? And that guy's got to wait on a list for a fucking house while we built a special facility for transgendered and transsexual friggin' illegals? The fuck? That's why I think these leftists ought to be shot in the fucking street for things like that. You shoot the leftists in the street, make them dead, and then we can put the soldier in their house. I like that idea better. Dead leftists and soldiers occupying their space. I would go with that. But until I hear some friggin' leftist Democrat prick start talking about things like that, then maybe I'll even think about listening to you. Other than that, you can go fuck yourself, pound salt, and toss my fucking salad, and I'll let you choose the syrup or the jelly, fuckface. Well, everybody else, have a good night. Leftist, go fuck yourself and die.